Yeah, I'm calling shenanigans. There's people who I know until they started being possessed and taken over by something who knows far more than they could ever know. Um, they they tell me, many people tell me that. So I remember when I was like 2 years old and stuff like this. I don't remember, like, I assume I was inserted when I was like 4 years old with like two false memories, like two really short false memories too. Because like I remember, I don't know, a lot of shit, but it's like I call shenanigans on these people because they went to school for like 12 years and almost not a day in their life could they remember what they were told the day before. And they were forced to take these things called tests. And tests is where you like, it tests your memory. Pretty much that's what a test is. It goes, what can you remember? As can you members any things? And people fill out the test and they'd be like, uh, and the teacher come up to him and be like, no, you don't write on your forehead, you write on the paper. And they'd be like, okay. And 5 minutes later, the teacher come up like, you haven't done anything yet. And they'd be like, what is the paper? I don't know what paper is. And they're like, that's this thing right here. And then so they start looking at the desk and they'd be like, no, no, the paper's the thing on the desk. He's like, okay. And then 10 minutes later, the teacher come up and be like, you still ain't filled out nothing yet. What's going on? And be like, I don't know how rights. What's rights? I have rights. I have gun rights. I have a rights to be a transsexual. And the teacher be like, oh, okay, well, we're going to give you a B. That way you can get out of my class. And you can go on in life and be someone someday. And they'd be like, okay, I like that. That's so good. It's a B. And so they couldn't remember what they was told the day before in math class. But they can remember 30 years ago when they was sticking their finger up their butt for the 19th time when they was 3 years old to get a little satisfaction. And it's like, really? Really? Are your priorities off or is you a lying motherfucker? And then they'd be like, well, we ain't got time. It sounds like you're hateful. You can get out of my house if you want to talk like that. And then you can just be like, well, I'm sorry. Santa Claus is coming now. Santa Claus is coming. So what do you want for Christmas? And they're like, ooh, I want a diamond ring and a Lamborghini and a mansion and a bunch of gold chains. And be like, well, I'm kind of poor. I can't afford that. And they'd be like, well, you just don't love me, do you? You don't like me. I'm not worth it to you. You know how hard I worked to raise you. This is a conversation you would have with one of these human bots, ain't it? Tell me. You'd be a human if you fucking told me 1/10 of that shit didn't actually happen. I try to combine a whole bunch of shit there at once. If you're not smart enough to figure that out, then I don't know, 98% fucking that. But exactly what I'm saying is, how can someone who can't figure some shit out remember some little flash memory, their entire flash life when they was 2 years old? They was 2 years old. Their brains aren't even developed yet to have memories, and I think like, most of these people I know long enough to know they have a problem with habitual lying and making up nonsense. It's very rare I've met a person who does not tell me Santa Claus is coming to town. Now there are a few people I have, and I keep them in, like, they stay in mind too, because it's like, oh my god, that person like said something. Wow. Like, it's like, it's shocking when a human can evolve beyond Santa Claus. Why? What's wrong with? Wait, what is this race? They evolved from slime amoebas 2 trillion years ago, and but how can they if they can't figure nothing else out? They remember when they was 2 days old, and their daddy set them on their lap and bounced them up and down and stuff and stuck a pacifier in their mouth. They couldn't ever remember math or history or English the next day to get the homework done properly. After 12 years of that, now they remember that one time they was bouncing on daddy's lap, but they don't remember nothing of 12 years of that crap. And they remember Santa Claus is coming, but Santa Claus ain't really coming. So let's add those three things together. One thing they say they remember, and it's happening, and you know damn well ain't actually happening. But they're going to be adamant. In fact, they're getting violent. People be getting violent and aggressive and abusive if you deny their delusion. They say a UFO came to abduct them, and I say UFOs don't come to meet stupid people. Aliens are smarter than you. I'm always in denial of UFOs because, first of all, that would mean there's something flying and there's a world out there, and we have pedophiles like Santa Claus, NASA, and Elon Musk working together. And if you think Santa Claus and Elon Musk and NASA are going to space, well, I bet you remember bouncing on your daddy's lap. But you didn't remember test answers the day after you were told. For 12 years straight. Questionable things. I mean, the whole thing becomes questionable when the world shows you hey, we're just possessing these people and making them dance upon command. Whatever you say happens and changes the world and all this shit, or whatever we say happens and changes the world, and they have no thoughts. Like, what happened during 2020? Oh, there's a virus. Oh, there's a hell of a lot more than that happening. But, oh well, I guess the show can't operate properly if anyone remembers what the hell happened in 2020. And even that, it took a year for them to even talk about that. They silenced anyone who didn't, and then there were people who had to come up with a story that controlled opposition nonsense. They're not even in control themselves. They're too pea-brained to be an advanced alien race and shit. Their pea-brains are limited to skills like throwing balls through hoops or counting money at the bank and shit. Literally, it's assigned them each one skill and stuff. It's pathetic. Most of them, it's assigned them being hookers these days. Pretty much, you can see 95% of women are online selling their bodies. And if that's the furthest human evolution got, trust me, they didn't evolve from apes. Apes are smarter than that. So, apes haven't done none of this garbage. Apes don't claim to remember when they were 2 years old, but worship Santa Claus and their shit, and apes are too smart for that. Come on, man. This whole Earth place is full of holes, dude. Makes no sense. Santa Claus is coming, though. We know that, don't we? Because people's already, investing millions of dollars right now at the stores in worship of Santa Claus. Because he's coming, bro. You know what's not coming is people who passed math and English. Everyone's passed from school who went there because they want you out. They only keep you there to daycare, babysit you so your parents can watch TV. But yeah, dude, what's going on here? I think I understand because I think they're showing me.